can watch Stranger Things before I go to bed, and I will have hocus pocus kind of dreams. So
Love it.
it's what happens, right? So it works both ways.
Okay, so one of the other things that came up in the Matrix, which I thought was really interesting, was one of the things they talked about throughout the different ones is that each time the Matrix failed because of some glitch or something that didn't happen or went wrong or what they felt was wrong, they would reset it. Now, we've also, it mimics life because we've also had many purges and many resets on our own planet, even though some people may not be aware of it. So do your own homework and research. Don't research on just Google the first thing you see. Go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. That's the only way you'll find the truth. But we have gone through quite a few resets. If you go all the way back to Atlantis, you can go back to the Egyptian times, back even through the Bible, with Noah and the ark and the flooding. We've had mud floods. And what some people don't realize at this point, and this may be a shocker to a lot of people, and I'm telling you, you don't have to believe me, but go do your research. But we've had a reset as recently as between late 1700s and the early 1800s. Our civilization is only 200 years old. Look up mud floods, Tartaria,
Mud fossils.
mud fossils.
Don't go on Wikipedia.
Yeah, don't go on Wikipedia. Don't go on Google. Go deeper. The
Or
other thing
ask us.
is, and this is something we believe, which we believe there was another reset back in 2012. We believe that the world was actually blown up that time, and they brought it back again, just like the Matrix can do. And they did a reset, and we started over again because they didn't like the direction we were heading.
But I also think about what just happened recently, Eastern Europe, that it could have gone a different way, but because there are so many people now who are standing in their truth, in the light, that it didn't turn out the way it had been planned to turn out. There is no World War III. We are awakening.
But I almost kind of think that awakening, that ascension, this whole thing that's happening right now is our own version of World War III right now.
But the battle's from what is going on
Yeah,
within.
we're going through a spiritual war, not necessarily a physical war.
Right, it's a battle within the
Well,
light
we've
darkness
been in the
energies.
middle of World War III for a very long time.
Yes.
Yes, on the inside, correct. But now we're recognizing it. I don't think at least in my case, I didn't recognize the battle that I was feeling within because I was taking the blue pill. Because
I shut myself down in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was totally taking that blue pill.
just going
Much as I
through, got
Going through the
it,
motions.
because we're so busy, being busy,
Right.
that we don't take time to listen to our intuition. Because our intuition will tell us every time if we listen and do what it says. Do what it says.
The
not
more
just
you
go,
trust
"Oh."
it, the more it leads you.
Right, and so, but we're not listening. How many of us, besides dating, but even going down,
general matters.
when we're talking about songs and things, the last fair I went to when we were in Lakeland, I don't always listen to my GPS, because I think it might be wrong. So,
That sounds familiar.
so I'm seeing on the map that looks like there would be another exit. I could do less lights. So I'm passing the exit, and all of a sudden on the radio comes on, take the long way home. And I looked at how far away it went from 40 miles to 248. I went, what's happening? So 5 miles down, I
You
get to the
think you're
U-turn.
having a good laugh out there?
No.
No, just send her that song. Let's see what she does.
So the universe will talk to you in many, many different forms if you listen. If I hadn't been, coherent enough and know to listen to the songs, my guides, and I would not have looked down at the GPS, seeing the additional 200 miles.
Right.
I probably would have went for a long way. I was like, you're not funny. But
And that is,
I'm glad that they did it.
and that is quite common where, people don't realize it, is that you're asking this question or you're thinking about something major in your life, and all of a sudden you'll be in the store and all of a sudden hear a song that fits perfectly to what and you tune in at it and you think, what's that? And go home and look at those words, because it's giving you your answer.
Like MC Hammer's Can't Touch This.
Yeah, get this.
But yeah, it's amazing how they talk to you in different ways. Lights here in your ears, you get that like intense, and that means like pay attention.
Yeah.
I'm about to tell you something.
Or even something that's as innocent as going to your friend, you're on your way to a friend's house or a grocery store, and someone comes up and starts talking to you and says something that's like, oh, ha! And you get your answer. Simple things like that. Always be aware, always be open to things that people say to you and things that are going on. Even simple signs. You know, they had that song that was so famous. Here's your sign. You know, you're thinking, oh, okay. Duh. You know, so that kind of thing is very common. So pay attention to the signs.
It will keep you safe.
Yes.
It really will keep you safe.
Yes, and on shorter roads home.
And
The other one that I think is really important that
Smiling
we should
on the inside.
touch on is
Would you like to come sit?
Yes,
I'm
darn.
good, thank you.
is feelings can be controlled easier than facts. It's basically the worst.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Worse they treat us, more energy output, hope and despair, same output.
That's what the architect, the new guy,
Mhm.
said
That's
to
what he
Neo.
says, yeah.
I think
Mhm.
so, because
How hard.
we push them down.
Mm-hmm.
We eat our feelings.
We eat them. That's a form
Yeah.
of controlling them.
Amen.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Instead
Okay.
of letting them out, I think that's
But see,
our
I
biggest
feel-
problem.
But I feel like that's not control at all. That's letting them control
But
you.
Neo had said in the first movie that he can't fathom the idea of not being in control of his whole
Of his
life.
own, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
And
let
that's
them,
why I think that's where that illusion part comes in.
if you let
That
them out,
controlling your feelings is such
well, you're
an
not.
illusion.
You're suppressing them,
Yeah, it's such an illusion. There's no control there.
right? But if you let them, if you let them out, especially women. I was watching a show. I don't even know what it was. And
Just
they're
the
like,
sisters.
yes. And
Twisted Sisters.
Saying
Watch
how-
Twisted Sisters. This is programming.
she was upset about something, and they said, well, you're really emotional about this. Now, would they have said that to a man?
To a man.
He was-
No,
he
but
would have been
women
pissed
are,
off.
women aren't
Right.
allowed to show emotions.
And so you're emotional.
Right.
But a man would have been it would have been a different conversation.
I would like to hear a man say that to a woman, you know, during that time of, you know,
Yeah.
let's see him get away with it then.
Well, I would like to say to a man who gets all pissy, oh, you're being emotional. I mean, because when they show
It's still
anger,
an- Right. It's
That
still an
way.
emotion.
it's still an emotion.
You can do the principal thing. I'm gonna call your mother.
Who do I call? Your mother or your father? My
Who's
mother.
your
So your
guardians?
father then.
And here's a biggie for this world right here is that people don't care about the facts anymore.
They do not.
It's all about the fiction. It's not what
the narrative
it's,
that's created.
yeah. It's not what you believe in your head. It's you know it's what they put out there. And you can change. You know that's what neuro-linguistic programming (NLP) is all about. You know you change the memory in the head, which is who knows how accurate that is because that may have happened decades ago. But it's what you believe that
Well,
becomes the reality to you.
when I was principaling, how you have to toe the party line. So my teachers, I would tell them, drink the Kool-Aid and then spit it out when they're not looking. Because nobody said you have to swallow. You just
Right.
spit it out.
Okay, now we're getting close to 21 up.
But you just drink.
We're just talking Kool-Aid.
Just
Where-
Kool-Aid.
Where are you at?
Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Would you like some more Kool-Aid?
I'm drinking.
But the idea was you don't have to buy into it, but if this is what you need to do to get through the day, do what you need to do, but stay within that border.
Right.
And don't sell your soul. Spit it out.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
So I guess we'll kind of maybe close this up a little bit. So let's. What do you think the takeaway for Matrix Resurrection was for you, and the most important thing to remember and to, tell your audience?
That's
Your
a lot.
wisdom.
That's a lot.
Your principal wisdom.
That's a lot of information in that.
Yes,
we
it
just
is.
did 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes, we only dissected the
I
first 10
know.
minutes of that. But it's speak your truth, be your truth, and know the difference when you're not.
Very profound. Is that the Matrix?
No, that's from Wayne's
That's
World.
Wayne's World. Let's transition to the next thing. That's Wayne's World.
And Veronica, what would you have to say to that?
This was cool.
This is cool? No parting words, no. What did you take away from Matrix Resurrection?
They should make another one, like really fast. I think that Neo, we saw what he felt at the moment that he could believe, but he really never believed in it from the beginning. But I think they gave a lot of credit to Trinity's character. She believed in him from the beginning. She knew that he was the one because she fell in love with him in the first movie. I think that
When you
He's
say
definitely-
the one, who do you mean? What do you mean by the one?
what a hot guy.
Yeah, the hot guy.
It's Keanu Reeves. Come on.
Keanu Reeves.
But I mean, there is some reference to what the one.
One.
Oh Jesus!
But that
No, they've actually had a lot of conversations
Oh, yeah,
since the
they-
first movie was
They
brought
have
out.
linked a lot of that
They
to
have linked
the
it to
Bible,
the Bible and Jesus.
Neo being
But
Jesus.
he actually was the 7th incarnation of a freedom fighter that went on freeing everybody. And Morpheus was the main point from the beginning movie. He is the god that is the dream maker, the dream weaver. He helped pull a lot of people out of the dream state.
Right.
I think it's fantastic. It helps when you have the support around you and you can talk to people. You can talk with people. So the takeaway from me with this was keep on believing. As magical or as no matter how many unicorns people throw at you, the non-believers or the non-conspiracy theorists, you just have to keep on believing and talking the truth, like talking a lot.
the truth, not
The
a
truth.
version,
A truth.
a truth.
Mhm.
Because a truth will get caught in your throat. The truth will just flow.
Mhm.
You seem to be talking better.
And I'm not even
She's
drinking.
speaking
And I'm not
her
even
truth.
drinking. Yeah, I'm speaking. Yeah.
And it's me it's a little different because I think a lot of it is about balance. Because what I took away from it was, everybody said Neo was the one, but he wasn't as strong as when he was linked with Trinity. And what truly saved every single person in
Trinity.
the planet, not necessarily Trinity, but them together.
Masculine,
The masculine, feminine energy, and
Yeah, the yin and the yang.
ultimately love saved the world.
Yes.
Love saved everybody because it was that love between Neo and Trinity and the balance that they achieved when they were together. Because every time they grabbed each other's hand, boom,
Good things happen.
good things happened. The energy increased. So I think it's about bringing ourselves in balance and bringing the feminine and the masculine in ourselves, which gives us one of our true powers. And love, above all things, is going to save this planet and basically save the world. And love will, negativity and dark entities hate love. They
Can't
hate the
survive
frequency. They can't survive the frequency. So the more love we put into the world, the less division that we have, and to understand that we're all the same. We're all part of the same. We're all one. And we need to realize that, and that love is going to save us. Didn't they make a song out of that? I'm sure they made a movie about that.
We are the world.
So the message
Captain
from
We are the
this
world.
Divorce.
love.
Is that?
The captain
Hmm?
and Tennille got
The message
divorced.
from this episode. Love.
It's love!
Yes. All right.
And
Wow. so yes, transition. So my take, Trinity is by far my favorite character, and I'm kind of disappointed we didn't talk about her as much. I love her.
Next episode.
But I'm all like girl power too, so there's that. But my thing about the whole movie, so took more away, like you were discussing about it being a group, a two-person effort, a yin and yang and the same. But at the same time, for me, it was about finding that group, finding that network of people that work together. Because it wasn't just Neo and Trinity that could do it all.
Mhm.
It was the ones who were pulling them in and out of the matrix.
Yep.
Gotta
It was
have a
the
tribe.
ones- You had, you had to have a group of people that could work together
Mhm.
for a net goal.
Mhm.
And so for me, it was all, and of course, I was in a transitional part of my spirituality when I was watching that too. So for me, it was about kind of really honing in on who I can trust, who I can't trust, and being able to observe that difference, whether it be a friendship or a relationship, whatever, but being able to physically observe those red flags and green flags and decide who should be my tribe and who should I let go of. And so my big takeaway was that this transformation, this journey, this destination, whatever you want to call it, can't be done alone.
Yeah.
That it's going to take a group. And I'm a Capricorn, so for me, I do everything by myself.
Double Capricorn.
Yeah, double Capricorn. So everything I do is on my own.
You
I
need
don't
to
ask
check
for
in-
help.
You don't need to check in with anybody else
I-
except yourself.
Exactly. So for me, it was like trying to find that group of people on who is going to lead me in the right direction and who's not going to lead me astray, who's going to keep me on the red pill instead of force feeding me the other. So that was more my takeaway, was that this was a group effort, that it can't be done by
Just
yourself.
getting a bunch of little red dots or whatever those things. Remember those little chili like
Red Hots, like
Red
Tic
Hots,
Tacs, the
yes.
little red,
The
yes,
little- yes.
a Mike and Ike's.
And then
Yes.
pass them out to everybody?
The red ones,
The
not
red
just the red
ones,
ones.
the Mike and Ike's, the cinnamon
No.
ones, yes, Jelly Bellies, the cinnamon Jelly Bellies, those are
just
those.
the red pills.
Yes,
So we stay open.
we're just gonna put there we go, a bowl of red.
So what I'm hearing
Jelly
is for
bellies right
Halloween
there.
this year, y'all are gonna be Matrix characters.
Ooh, we can
Well,
do
there's
that.
your thought. Here we were going to be Hocus Pocus, but we
We
could
can
do
do-
Well,
Matrix.
there's 4 of you, so
I call Trinity.
I know nothing about the Matrix, so I don't know who is.
Well, then I want to be
You
Neo.
gonna be Satine? Ooh, you gonna be Neo? You could be Neo.
Oh, I'll be Bugs.
3 bucks.
What's
Be Satine.
that?
She's the
Satine, oh, she's cool.
I'll be
Yeah.
I like her.
I'll be
Yeah,
the
she's
oracle.
You could be Trinity. I'll be Satine.
I'll be
You
the,
could be
oracle. I'll be invisible in the background while whispering wisdom.
Yes.
No, you're gonna be up front.
So
You're not
everybody,
a woman. You're gonna be up front. You can't have that.
I need some alcohol if I'm gonna be a
so this seems to be the end of our little
This is my empty glass.
about the Matrix. We will continue in another episode with maybe a little more of the Matrix, or how predictive programming movies are. You want to really know what's going on in the world? Watch a movie. It'll tell you. And we're also gonna.
Are you tired yet?
Am I tired? No, I'm not tired. So we're also going to tell you about other things as we go through this little series of ours. And it's going to be, we're going to have little how-tos on things like crystals, things like how to take care of ourselves as women, how to find our centers, how to ground ourselves, all sorts of different things linked to metaphysical things, ascension, and just keep watching us because we'll get more interesting. Anybody else want to say something?
No, I think you covered it, but it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
No.
Yeah,
The
There
more
might be
we
a
drink,
little
the better
alcohol.
it gets.
that's right. We are the Twist Assistants.
Have a
And,
good night.
and this is our menopause.
All right.
On that note, good night. You already cut it?
Yeah. I was gonna say menopause with that.